So we got Brett Favre versus Tyler Perry, or better known as Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. Man, I watched the press conference today. They fought around 4 months ago. They're getting ready to run it back. And Chris Eubank, man, this dude has to have one of the best mouthpieces in boxing. I mean, he really makes it interesting. He kept saying that Smith hit him with an elbow, and he said, normally, when I get buzzed, I'd see a white light. This time I saw a black light, and Liam Smith was like, well, get ready to see it again. And he said to Chris Eubank about him being hurt, and Chris Eubank was like, yeah, I've been hurt before. I mean, but I try not to get hit. I want to protect these pretty looks. I mean, this dude is just funny, man. He's a natural on the mic. I hope he goes into broadcasting when he's done with his boxing career. But he says he wasn't that hurt. He said Liam Smith didn't stop him. He said the referee stopped me, and you can see that he was really trying to let the fact be known, or the fact in his mind, that he could have continued fighting. He said he kept staring at Smith at the end of the fight, letting him know, like, I'm still ready to go. But, they have a habit of stopping fights fast in the UK. Although Eubank said that same referee let another fight carry on so long that one of the fighters, got put in a coma. So he's like, why did he let that fight go on and then he stopped mine so quick? But he might have answered his own question, because if he let that fight go on too long, I'm sure the ref said, I'm not going to let that happen again. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But who am I going to pick to win? I'm going to wait and see. I have to see further interviews. I have to see how both guys are training. I have to hear what's going on in the individual camps. But it's too early to say, because the fight isn't until June, and I think it's called Repeat or Revenge. Kind of reminds me of Lennox Lewis McCall, where it was called Payback or Playback. Of course, it was Payback in Lennox Lewis's favor. But Liam Smith said something that really had me thinking about the Ryan Garcia-Tank Davis fight. And I said before, I didn't know if Garcia just couldn't get up or if he quit. But Liam Smith proved his point that, at least I feel, that now Garcia quit, because like he was saying, you couldn't get up before 10. The minute the ref counts to 10, you can instantly stand up. So how do you stand up at 10 but you couldn't get up at 8 or 9? So made me think, looks like Ryan Garcia quit. It's all right, though. He's a young fighter. He can come back. I mean, we've all made mistakes, all of us. I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. The only person that was mistake-free was Yeshua. So it looks like Ryan Garcia quit, and, he'll have to come to terms with that. Oscar De La Hoya did an interview where he was saying that he wasn't at the press conference because he had threats on his life. And he was saying that Bernard Hopkins was being charged with rubbing some type of testosterone or some cream on Tank Davis, so he wasn't allowed in the building. I don't know what's what. I just know that Garcia looked like he just had his family near him and not his management team. And that's something Garcia will have to... that's something that he'll have to decide if he wants to continue with the same squad or not. It's up to him. It's about who he feels comfortable with and who's making him the most money. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this Brett Favre Tyler Perry fight. It's going to be a lot of talk as we get closer and closer to this fight. Chris Eubank said he had never been knocked down, not even in sparring, I guess not in the amateurs, so it was a weird feeling for him, and he was trying to gather himself. And Liam Smith said, dude, you took like 5 steps wobbling. Anybody would have been waved off at that point. And so, of course, Chris Eubank said he needed to gather himself, but I thought he looked pretty hurt when I saw it, because when you get up and you get up too fast, you're going to look more hurt than what you are too. But you know, for you to wobble like that, your legs weren't quite up under you, and it doesn't take much to knock you down after that. But are you guys excited for the Liam Smith, Chris Eubank 2? I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. Boxing is back. And still there's these other platforms talking about, I'm going back to Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. There's these other platforms still talking about Tank Davis isn't the face of boxing, and I don't see how people can say that, and it's absurd. They don't realize that they're talking about Tank Davis when they say that. The fact that you're talking about Tank Davis shows he's the face of boxing. That's what everybody's talking about. When Mike Tyson first started his career, he was knocking out nobodies left and right. Like every other month seemed like he was knocking somebody out. Mike Tyson was the face of boxing. He wasn't fighting no top 10 guys, but he was the face of boxing because of how incredible he was knocking these people out. It was putting people in the seats. So just because you're not fighting a top 10 guy doesn't negate the fact that you're the face of boxing. I don't know where people get that idea. Tank Davis is exciting to watch. When you see him, you know it can end at any moment. When you watch fighters like Devin Haney, you pretty much know you're there for the 12 rounds. And that's why I favor him against Devin Haney. I favor him against Shakur Stevenson because of the power. Shakur's right there, though. And it's not going to be, that'll be his toughest fight. We'll even see if Devin Haney gets past Lomachenko. But it's just incredible to me how people are acting like, I can't understand why people were saying Davis is the face of boxing when you were glued to your TV watching it and you're still talking about it days after. You're proving my point without even knowing it. The fact that you're still talking about it proves he's the face of boxing. And if he's not the face of boxing, who is? Bob Arum? Eddie Hearn? Oh yeah, I would like to see Eddie Hearn mix it up with Elderby or whatever his name is, the dude with the white beard. I would like to see that fight happen. I got to favor Eddie Hearn. I seen him do a little boxing. He was pretty nice. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. Looking forward to Smith, Eubank 2, Davis and Garcia. Davis is the face of boxing. Prove me wrong. And what else is going on? I guess Roy Jones will be training Eubank for the rematch too. We'll see. LSR forever. The reason I do this. J. Roos Theory. Thank you for watching. And be fearless. Yay, yay.